Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I wanted to replicate the energy that Mark Goldbridge has whenever he starts his, you know, like live streams or shows on That's Football, but no, there is only one Mark Goldbridge and I am unable to replicate that. But anyways, welcome back everyone. It's Monday, it's stream day. I am really excited. And I am really excited because I do have a story to tell you, because I have rediscovered my love to Project Zomboid over the weekend. Prime, Remco, Blight. Oh Jesus, I don't want to butcher your name. You should come up with some sort of an easier handle. Is it La Chiquita Place? La Chiquita Place, of course. Jesus. So it's easier once you break it down into syllables. Yes, it's Pawn Shop Northwest Louis. Exactly. You probably know this place by heart. So guys, I'm just gonna give it like a minute or two. Maybe someone else will join. How was your weekend? You're laughing at me now, huh? By the way, I changed the font color because I checked the previous streams and it was absolutely shit. But tell me, is it any better? Let me see myself. No, it's you guys still can't see nothing. I'm struggling to find the right font color to really make it like properly visible. And yeah, it's still shit. Okay, let's check it out. Let's try it out. Maybe I should try with white. Is probably not a choice considering that the whole is gonna be in snow soon. About yellow. Yellow and white snow sounds perfect. Thomas Garza, welcome. So we are at the stage where I'm trying to figure out what is the right font color for you guys to see the chat on the screen. But no bloody idea. Okay, let's see if this makes a difference. Anyways, yeah, we are in Louisville and very bright blue like aquamarine. So we are in Louisville. The whole concept of the story is, it's essentially what I wrote in the description of today's stream. What I want to do is I want to stay put and wait it out for the heli event. And once the heli event gets by, yellow works. Okay, so I just did the aquamarine blue as Blight suggested. If the yellow is better, I'm gonna revert back. I want to wait out the heli event. Let me start the game. As Prime's like rightfully noticed, we are in the pawn shop of Louisville, but you know the Ohio River is over here, and there are some really lovely villas in this area. And I actually got a car. That's what I remember. I actually have a functioning car right now, which will allow me to get there. So essentially, the haven't progressed much in the story because I kept on dying in the previous stream, but we're like 2 days in. So I think what's gonna happen is I will try to ride out today's stream at least till the heli event. And once the heli event passes, probably if she's still alive, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna organize the next stream so that start the moving process. So we are in Louisville. I am expecting zombies, obviously. I don't know how many. As you can see, I did clear the area a little bit. And there's the van, which is in great condition. Also, a gated community in the area. One way in, get fireplaces in every house. I'm not familiar with this gated community, but what I can tell you about Louisville and my newly found love to Project Zomboid is that I spent almost the entire weekend doing nothing but playing the game. And just to give you some context, those of you who are on my Discord know that my wife left me for the weekend. No, she left for the weekend. She went for the whole 3 days. She went all the way to the Polish seaside to get herself educated in her field of work. It was like a seminar, workshop type thing for dog trainers. And I've done what every adult at the age of nearly 40, being home alone, would do. And that is, I played video games for most of the time. With short breaks to cook food, take care of my dogs, and yeah, you know, like take care of some necessities like taking a shower or something. But that's pretty much my weekend. Nah, but in all honesty, apart from that, I did clean the apartment, I cleaned the kitchen, I cleaned the bathroom, and I did bake cookies for my wife, so that she has something pleasant to come back to. The whole apartment, you know, smelled of chemicals because of all the cleaning that I've done. So to close off, I baked cookies on Sunday evening so that the smell of fresh cookies would repel the smell of chemicals. So it wasn't like only wasting time, but it was just a very long setup to what I wanted to say is that I started my brand new offline playthrough, which is also Louisville based, but not in the area of the Fun Extreme Center, which we are right now, but a random Louisville spawn. And the cool thing about it is I landed in some sort of a residential neighborhood southeast of the city, very close to the airport, and I literally just spent my days playing. I cleared the entire neighborhood. I looted everything which was, which was valuable. And once I've done that, I moved into a farmhouse that's halfway between that community and the airport. And I am now in the process of setting up a base there. And I just love it. It reminded me of how awesome this game is. You know, no stress, just pure survival. Get some food. Try to find some, stuff for the apartment. Amazing. I had so much fun. I'm already a month in. Already a month into the game. I actually used exactly the same settings as this one, so I also have some sprinters to mix things up. The character build is the same, which also allowed me to practice a little bit and maybe not butcher the game so much on stream. But yeah, just the fact that I had to go and replace windows because when I approached reached the farmhouse, was pretty messed up. Some of the windows were broken, and I had to go out and look for matching windows, and I just loved it. And what I'm gonna do right now, like mentioned, the whole concept of today is just to just loot as much stuff as possible, and by stuff I mean things which will be useful when I try to move into those villas. So, probably some tools, preferably some non-perishable foods. Oh, I actually missed the life and live. So that was my weekend, guys. How was yours? What is the show? Probably missed it. Game. how was your weekend, guys? Oh, and I posted, as I usually do. I did post a survey, which I'm gonna be checking from time to time. And today I'm asking a very a serious question, actually, because it has been something that's been on the mind of quite a lot of people, and I know also tons of different content creators did their own takes on this. I also have my opinion in regards to this particular topic of the Netflix and Warner Bros. Merger. So, guys, let me know what you think. Maybe I should. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and if you have no idea what's happening, then I'm happy to give you like an intro. My wife got her first tattoo. Congratulations to her. I'm not gonna be asking her age because like that's totally not polite. But I got this. This one over here, which you can barely see because of the light. I got this one done 2 years ago. It was my first tattoo, at the age of 38. And I can honestly say, no regrets at all. And the thing is, once you get your first one done, it kind of, you want more. It's actually a thing. So, did she like it? I mean, is she fine with it? Did she like the design? How was the process? Because if she did, and you know there was no trauma involved or anything, I wouldn't be shocked if she wants to get more done. Oh, she designed it. Yeah, I know she's an artist. You were mentioning that, sharing her artwork previously. Mine did not require a design. It's just a, it's just a puzzle piece. Very simple, but with tons of like backstories. So it might be a puzzle piece, but it does have quite you know, an emotional story behind. And if you're willing to share that, is it big? And which part of the body did she have it done? I mean, you might say, you know, share. It's actually my, speaking of wives and tattoos, it's my wife who got me into tattoos in the first place because she has a couple. And she's like always considering to do more. It's not like she's fully tatted like from head to toe, but she has a few tattoos. I really like them, by the way. So yeah. So honestly, it's probably hard to beat her story. I think she won. Because getting your first tat done is huge. What about the rest of you guys? I'm sure there is more of you than just Blight on stream. Keep in mind that if we do chat, if we do exchange, first of all, you make my evening more entertaining because I do enjoy interacting with you while playing. But also, and I'm gonna be very honest and very selfish, it kind of also helps to get the stream, you know, to more people because that's simply how YouTube works. So feel free to comment, feel free to mention your weekends. If you got some tattoo stories you want to share. It's yeah, let's just you know, have a wearing way too much stuff. Let's just have a good evening together. Now this is probably something, speaking of Project Zomboid, this is probably something I shouldn't be doing because if I get jumped by zombies, it's gonna be a very short stream. On her ankle, a few. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, I could. Yeah. Ankles is one of the areas that that my wife does consider as something to target in the future. But the skin there is actually very very sensitive in that area. So if she haven't felt any pain while doing ankle tattoos, that's probably a good sign for any future projects that maybe might want. Okay, looks quite safe. Prime, I'm not sure if you're with us, but just a question to you. I remember our discussion on the Discord like a couple of weeks ago. You were mentioning that pawn shops are technically good areas for like finding a katana, maybe. So I've been to a few pawn shops over the past couple of weeks. This one in particular, I also went to the oh Jesus, sorry. Went to the Irvington one a couple of times. No luck. No luck at all. So I'm not sure how regular the katana spawn in the pawn shops are. But either I am extremely unlucky, or it's much harder than it seems. Okay, I gotta check my gear because I found a ton of leather clothes, so now I should be able to get my hands on plenty of patches, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rip all the short mini skirts and stuff, which I'm not gonna be using because of the weather conditions, in order to get some leather patches. The Yin Yang one is a classic, and obviously if you're like considering tattooing yourself and having a matching tattoo with like a different person, there's always this slight risk factor involved that, you know, I mean, I wish you all the best and stuff, but you know, some people did matching tattoos and then they looked really silly. But there are some matching tattoos which are extremely neutral. Like my puzzle piece, my wife has a matching puzzle piece on her wrist. So if we put our hands together, right, they kind of go together. But my dog's name is Puzzle, and I like puzzles in general. So it's, you know, it's pretty fantastic. But you know, tattooing someone's name on you, as an example, it's probably not a good. But Yin and Yang is actually a classic. It's on the loot table, and it's the highest rate for katana spawns, but it also depends on what container types spawn in that shop. Still only 4%. Yeah. Yeah, so it reminds me of the drop rates of some, you know, like rare items in World of Warcraft, where you get like 1.3% chance if that it drops from a level 23 boar in Hillsbrad Foothills. Level 17, two-handed sword, blue. Finds on equip. These things used to go for incredible amounts of gold back when World of Warcraft was still good, and when I was much younger than I am right now. Do I have... I'm not wearing stockings. That's actually... Oh, I am. It does have a trench coat. It would replace the sweater and the jacket, which I don't think that is actually... You either need to have a start 60-day plus. Why so? Why would setting the start dates after the pandemic starts impact the spawn rate? Is it actually a thing? Does it impact the spawn rate? Legit question. I don't know. Because if it does, it's actually extremely interesting. Oh, really? So that's a... You learn every day. I didn't know that. So thank you for educating me on this. I haven't really paid attention to that ever before. Because obviously I did have leather bolero. Do I have one? I don't have. I did survive past 60 days, but I've never connected the dots when it comes to katana spawns. That's interesting. That's news to me. Oh, so some of you might consider this minigame as stupid, but the longer I play, the more I enjoy it. In fact, it was also one of the things that I found really enjoyable in that playthrough that I'm doing right now. Is actually, you know, looking for more leather scraps, just to leather strips, just to be able to find the matching pieces. I think my character's tailoring level is like 6 right now, something insanely high for my standards. And those patches right now add a lot of protection. So yeah, underrated skill, guys. Tailoring. Keep that in mind. It can save your life. Oh, look at this. We got zombies, which were not here before. Finally, some action. By the way, is the game audio okay? Can you guys hear it okay? Is it not too loud? Is it not too quiet? Because it's really good for me. It's actually even a bit too. I'm not sure if it's working for you. Pretty quiet to me. Oh, look, a sprinter. Okay, let me take care of these guys and see if of course, look. Again, when I play like solo, I usually like turn the volume down because I listen to stuff on YouTube and stuff like that. It should be better now. By the way, look, there's a bunny over here, and he's totally not afraid. He or she, I'm not sure. It's not afraid of me at all. Could be running away. Is that a... No, that's a regular backpack. I thought for a moment that that's this hiking backpack, but it's not. Raven! Why the hell are you late, bro? I'm playing with you. Nice to have you. Oh, and I forgot to mention, speaking of the weekend, it was all nice and stuff, you know, I played video games for 3 days and just chilled. But, you know, personally, it was a horrible weekend for me. Arsenal lost their game. They lost. They conceded a goal in the 96th minute on literally the last touch of the game, which on its own broke my heart. We didn't play all that well to begin with, so it not a. And then Max Verstappen lost the you know, the F1 championship by 2 freaking points. So, oh, my wife is back home. You guys can probably see that, hear that. Sorry. Remco, what is that location? Where is it? Real played absolute dog shit. I saw that. I saw some. I mean, I really don't care about La Liga at all. I only care about La Liga when, you know, Arsenal plays them in the Champions League. But I saw, like, supposedly Xabi Alonso is about to get fired after less than a season at Real. That's pretty crazy. Considering the guy was like the hottest name on the coach market. But yeah, I'm gonna stop the football talk if you want. I mean, look, my heart is broken as well. What can I say? Sports-wise, it was probably one of the worst weekends of 2025, if not the worst weekend of 2025. Hard to say. Okay, so I should probably start collecting some useful tools so that when I head to the base, I'm gonna have at least some basic necessities with me. So let's figure out what. Oh, God, Joe. What do I need? And forget about car tools for now. Just regular tools. Pliers and hacksaw. Absolutely. A flashlight is not a tool. Plastering trowel, probably not. Paintbrush, I'm not planning on doing any painting. Carpentry chisel, yes, it's very useful. Don't need a second set of pliers. File, maybe. Screwdriver. I think I have one, but Crucible. Oh, look at this. This is actually great for metalworking, isn't it? Okay. Saw. We got a saw. Hammer. What about those more unique stuff like masonry trowel? Spears. I'm not planning on keeping any sheep. Screws. By the way, I'm not putting them in the bag. Carpentry chisels aren't used for any. Are you serious? Why are they in the game then? What's the point? They're probably going to be used for something in the future. No? A box of nails. Funny thing, in that offline playthrough that I had, that I was mentioning earlier, one of the things that I could not find to save my life were nails, actually. I was looking for nails everywhere, and eventually what I had to do is, not sure if you guys are familiar with that area, but when you go to Louisville, you go to Louisville Airport, before you reach the airport, there are some like commercial buildings, and there is a mannequin factory where you can like literally just find hundreds of mannequins. And I had to go over there to find boxes of nails. I looted the entire neighborhood that I lived in, and I haven't found a single box of nails. Single one. And I looted probably 50 houses and garages. Insanely unlucky in terms of, you know, the spawn rate. Not sure why, but it was what it was. Okay, some necessities are here. One extra thing that definitely could be useful is some sort of a what? A hatchet or an axe. And I do have a hatchet. Great. So this alone, this setup over here is enough for your basic like carpentry needs. Everything you need. Hammer, box of nails, a hatchet to chop down tree. Got 2 screwdrivers. One is probably mine. Right, and I am carrying two short bats with me. Because, yeah, why not? Disassembling furniture does provide nails, but is also incredibly tedious as an activity, especially at lower levels, because for the most part you're just gonna break stuff without collecting like real useful items out of them. So I did disassemble them for the purpose of building 2 water collectors, but for any other stuff like, you know, I needed more than a few nails. I like needed 50 or plus. I have the patience to disassemble them. And in fact, I really enjoyed the trip to that factory because there's also a gas station over there, and I needed to find a gas station to my fuel needs. Between Ekron and Echo Creek below the steel mill, a tiny secluded cabin with a fresh water pump and an old wood stove. That sounds like a prime location. Crafting a fishing hook is super easy, you just need to have the recipe for that. And that's the hard part. And I did start fishing in that playthrough that I am doing right now because I just wanted to test something out. And despite having the cryogenic winter mode on and like temperatures below 60 degrees on average, because I also set the start date to March, so it's actually like minus 60 degrees Celsius. Despite that, fishing works fine. The river didn't freeze. Actually, not the river. There's a pond there. The pond didn't freeze. I am able to catch fish. It makes no sense. It just, you know, fuck logic. But yeah, fishing works for some reason. Yeah, the angler, but I think Remco already started, so it's impossible at this stage for him to pick, you know, professions or traits. Oh, so that's easy. And getting to carving level 5 is super easy. Leveling up carving is it's like an infinite loop, right? You chop down a tree, you carve down the tree branches into something, then the output of that is carved into something else, and the output of that is then carved into something else. So with very limited resources, you can really level up carving quite fast. Not to mention also that, you know, spears. Spears are, y'all know that, right? This is a Spears fan club. And I'm not talking about the artist. Artist. Wrong word. So yeah. Angler, Whittler, and wilderness knowledge. That's a perfect combination for a wilderness survival. So in fact, I do have the Whittler. I don't have the wilderness knowledge because the idea is to live in Louisville. In all my winter is coming playthrough, I would always go for wilderness. Yeah, as Prime mentioned. So actually, you're kind of calling out my build because she's a sewer. She's a whittler. Then I went into first aid because I wanted to use antibodies. Stopped using stuff. So yeah, and then I wanted to make it immersive. So she's like a security guard. So she's sneaky and she's quiet. So sneak used to sneak on previous like pre-epidemic one. So yeah, okay. While she's reading, let me just quickly check on the poll. Oh, so 57% of it. Okay, granted there aren't many votes yet, so we'll see how it develops. But 57% shows pirate life. I'm actually quite surprised. And not surprised at the same time. But maybe just to give some more context, what's happening. So I'm not sure if you guys noticed. Originally it went unnoticed. But then people started to realize what's happening, and the news started to reach a kind of like a, I want to say an audience, but to the wider consciousness of humanity, or let me just put it this way. But essentially, the news dropped on the weekend, which is fishy on its own, because normally when you have major news about huge global corporations, these wouldn't be dropped randomly on a Saturday or on a Friday evening. These things are usually announced. You know, there's a huge conference, people are extremely happy and telling us how it's gonna make their lives better. But essentially, in the world of cinema and entertainment, there are only a couple of players which are relevant to what's happening. You got Netflix, which is the undisputed king of streaming, probably the largest like movie/series company in the world right now. You've got Amazon. You've got Warner Bros, who are essentially, there are HBO, and they make movies. Some of them pretty decent, by the way. And then you have, like, Disney. Everything else is irrelevant, or is gonna become irrelevant at some point. And the news that dropped is that Netflix... Oh, wow, look at this, guys. The news dropped that Netflix is gonna acquire Warner Bros, essentially. So you got... Take care, Remco. Like, have a good one. So the news dropped that Netflix is going to acquire Warner Bros. So the #1 player in the market is gonna acquire #3 player in the market, and it's gonna essentially give Netflix access to all the Warner Bros. Intellectual property. So Netflix is gonna own HBO, they're gonna own stuff like DC Comics, they're gonna own stuff like Harry Potter. Oh Jesus, oh no, oh no, oh god. Run away. Oh, this is bad. And this means that the only two competitors with any kind of leverage on the market are gonna be Disney and Amazon. Which Amazon is not really like an entertainment company. They are making most of their relevant revenue right now from AWS, which is their cloud service. And you also got the retail piece, Amazon. And Disney. Disney, which has its own problems. And the more I think about it, is the more I'm convinced that it's just such a horrible thing. That piracy might be the only way out of this. Because what's gonna happen is, and it always happens. It happened with, Amazon and all the different avenues of the market that they overtook. The business model is very simple. You start on a mass scale with very low pricing, you keep that low pricing long enough to kill off all of your competition, and once you're the only player out there, then you beef up prices because there is nobody else that can challenge you. And with the Netflix thing, what I'm worried about is A, prices going up. Canal Plus, but it's not on a global scale. It's like, you know, talking about, imagine this, Nike buying Adidas, and then somebody comes and says, you know, but there is still Skechers. Okay, there is still Skechers, but they're nowhere near the size and scale of a behemoth that Nike plus Adidas would be. So in this particular case, it's just gonna drastically impact the quality of you know, of the content that's gonna be released. Because if there is no competition, what's gonna happen in the end is you're gonna be stuck with the crap that they're gonna put out, which is probably gonna be more expensive after that merger. Because when you have no competition, you can just simply do whatever you want with the pricing, as there are no alternatives. Ooh. Okay, but I do have a hunting knife, so this is kind of redundant. But it's always nice. And when I just think, I mean, imagine this. Everything in one place. And okay, I mean, Disney butchered Star Wars. And let's just use that example as a warning, because if Disney was able to destroy a franchise, I'm like openly saying that they just butchered Star Wars, then look, imagine what Netflix is going to do with stuff like Harry Potter. Not to mention, this is gonna be the end of cinema. Like, legit end of cinema. Because Warner Bros., their business was still making movies. Like, real movies that you go into the cinema to watch. Okay, they weren't very good at it. And Disney also, they weren't very good at it. But for the most part, they were in the business of making cinema-type movies. And if Netflix acquires Warner Bros., what is the incentive to still make, like, cinema ready movies? There is none. So I am completely like, I am against it. I am basically anti-monopoly. But then again, shit, we're gonna go, it's not gonna go into too much politics today, but that's just how capitalism works at the end. At the end of capitalism, there is always monopolies, because without regulations, especially if you have like wild capitalism, the accumulation of wealth is going to work in a way that the bigger fish will always eat the smaller fish, and the cycle will repeat until we reach a point when there are no other fish, and then the big fish can do whatever it wants. And Amazon is a great example. They just basically killed off all the competition, and now they monopolize. And of course, there are alternatives to Amazon, especially in the States. And guys, if you're watching right now from the States, do you use any alternatives to Amazon for your online shopping? Let me know in the comments if by any chance you guys will get to this point. I'm really interested to get your opinion, because I don't have this insight from the US retail market, so it's hard for me to judge, but it's just my assumption that. And why piracy is actually a solution to that? Well, if you're being cheated by constantly beefed up pricing, and this beefed up pricing of your services that you purchase is paired with dropping quality of those services, and there is a free alternative for which is piracy, it's the only way. Hey Horst, welcome. It's the only way to force these companies to either change their strategy by releasing better content or making the experience more user-friendly. because they will be forced to the situation into a situation where there is no revenue at all because people will simply switch to like pirated content, or you know, like going lower with the pricing, improving the quality, and regaining the you know, the customer base. And I read a cool study on this. Is that late 2010s were the period where the piracy in general became the least impactful thing in the history of you know, of internet. And that was because the content was easily accessible and it was fairly good quality. And then, you know, things again started to deteriorate, and there was this great comment that, you know, the online streaming platforms made a historic fumble because they had everything in their hands to make something really useful, and they just fumbled the bag because they were just Newegg for electronics, but eBay is also. But then again, is eBay really a competitor? Why is she? Maybe that's the aftermath of triggering that. Nowadays, piracy sites have less ads than the paid alternatives. Yo, that is such a based take. And also, I mean, look, we're all on YouTube right now, like enjoying the ability to consume content on YouTube. YouTube ads. YouTube ads are a thing on its own. You need a pillow. What mods do I use? I use a whole list of mods, and I promised to add the list in form of a text file to the video description, which I'm gonna do. But since you've asked this question right now, guys, this happens often. This is my mod list. I am using a few. Why can't I scroll the list? Hey, what's up? I broke something. There it is. I use a few vehicle mods, and from the mods that I think are like quite useful and change the game a bit, I am using stuff like item condition, which allows you to view the condition. I am using more traits. I really enjoy the mod. It adds different ways on how to, you know, again, build your character around. I do have stuff like extra ways to preserve food. For all you smokers out there, I do use Smoke Like It's 93, which is a very useful mod. I have some fun mods which add video games and stuff. Clean UI should be a staple. I am getting so many mentions that I should rework my user interface, but the thing is, this is how I learned to play the game, and it's really hard for me to switch. I use Authentic Z, and I should probably mention I also use Daynu as a, I want to say a cheat code, but kind of a, you know, get out jail free card. Where was I? I got completely sidetracked, but that's totally fine. I was mentioning YouTube ads. I saw a lot of people hate on YouTube ads. I'm a YouTube premium user, so it's out of all the subscription services that I purchased, I don't have many because I tend to be really like diligent with my expenses. I have Netflix, but that's mostly because my mom, who is 65, like she uses that account for entertainment, so I actually set up the Netflix mainly for her, but also my wife. I watch Netflix whenever, you know, a new season of Stranger Things drops or something. Very rarely would I Netflix. I do have Amazon Prime because it's just ridiculously cheap. And looping back to what I said about Amazon and the way that they, you know, like cook the market. See, I'm at fault here as well, because I am using Amazon purely based off the ridiculously low price for their service. And I do have Spotify Premium because I just couldn't really deal with getting ads in between me vibing to music. That would be horrible. And YouTube Premium. And out of all these, like, this very short list of subscription services, YouTube Premium is by far the best value for money. Do you guys use YouTube Premium, by the way? Let me know, because that's also a other interesting topic. Because me, being a small content creator, I do engage on Reddit in various different, like, YouTube communities. And the amount of hate targeting YouTube is just insane. It's crazy. People complain about ads. People complain about, you know, how many ads there are, when they pop up, the type of ads. A lot of people are complaining that, you know, they are getting, like, borderline porn stuff in their YouTube ads. I never faced it. I'm not also sure, but I think the ads that are being shown on your feed are kind of related to the cookies that you have on your you know, like, workstation. So if you're getting these types of ads, maybe you should, like, revisit your life decisions at some point and just double check what you're watching. But yeah, YouTube Premium is definitely worth the money, especially, like, if you're using YouTube. Especially when my especially when my wife pays for it, because we have a family account. And she pays for Spotify also. But, you know, the budget is kind of, it's our budget, so even if she pays for that, I pay for your shoes, okay? Let's vibe to the music a bit. What is this? It's a musical store. It's a, like, instrument store. I don't have the mod which allows you to play the acoustic guitar, because that is a mod, isn't it? Right? It's not like vanilla feature. Hello, baby. Hold on, guys. Let me catch up on chat. I use YouTube Premium for the increase to bitrate. It helps with VSR from NVIDIA. So you get... Oh, that's very technical. I have no idea what I just read. In the German subreddits, it's a running gag with the Ralf Schumacher ad, which how much your... I'm not digging it. I don't really get the reference. Use that in the... but it's okay. So then again, I do get, just to get, like, my 2 cents on this topic, I do understand that the ads are annoying. I can completely understand that. I appreciate that people don't like it. But essentially, with YouTube, you are getting access to the world's greatest library of video content. And it's completely free. The amount of content which is being uploaded on every second is crazy. There is literally everything on this platform. So, while, yes, it's probably annoying, but that's just the price you have to pay for having access to it. That was a bit scary. Probably really stupid of me to, like, go into an unexplored area and just open doors without looking around. But okay, we are good. Oh, is this a house? Yo, the architecture in Louisville is really confusing at times because you've got these stores, like a warehouse or something, and yet it does look like it has a second floor, and this looks like an apartment. I don't get it. Drink me up. Yeah, exactly. Yo-ho. There was this really cool video about this. I think it was How Money Works that made a video how piracy can change the direction of all the streaming platforms and entertainment providers. I'm not 100% sure it was How Money Works, but even if it's not their video, and they didn't do it. If you've never heard about How Money Works as a YouTube channel, you're missing out. It's just such a great, he's a great content creator, and obviously more than one person, because you got the whole editing team and stuff, but they are just such a great YouTube channel. They got so much really good, valuable, informative content about, you know, how the world works. It's called How Money Works, but since, you know, money runs the world, it really gives you great insights in all the different stuff. So if by any chance you've never heard about them, a huge recommendation on my end. Oops. Switched for a moment there. Okay, what is this? Live music. The Beavers. That's a really dodgy name. Oh, hello. That's a dodgy name for a club. Beavers. I don't know. Oh, that was nice. Oh, that was even nicer. Yo, nice one. And it's gonna have probably like chips and stuff, which is lightweight, high calorie, non-perishable. Like dream combo, especially if you're trying to gain some weight. And lots of leather jackets also. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna loot a bit this area, because these are actually stuff that I could find useful in my permanent location. So I've grabbed 2 bottles of whiskey for disinfectation purposes. Disinfectation. Okay. Disinfection. I don't know what I want to say at this point. I confused myself, baby. And I'm gonna grab all the you know, like lightweight food that's here, all the chips and stuff. Like mentioned, the whole concept of these next few days is to just stock up on as much useful things that I can grab with me and just carry on to the permanent base, setting up later. Cure for the soul. By the way, something really poor has happened because this EFO sign is just obscuring the entire vision, and it's frustrating. Yeah, I gotta... Hold on, I gotta... Back, I'm getting to... Still not in shape to really go on, like... Have to be really careful with... Speaking of which, speaking of Cure for the soul. I need to get myself a bottle of whiskey. I completely ran out of. Disinfecting. By English, it should be disinfection, but we just don't use that word. Yeah. But the great thing is, guys, I found a second white monster. Huh? Tea? Tutti turum tu, please. Not really, thank you. How was your work, baby? Good. Oh shit, I forgot to grab all that leather clothing. Man. That's fine. Maybe we'll grab it later. So guys, while we are doing the really, you know, like unentertaining, not entertaining stuff like reading books, there is more than there's a dozen of you here. Just curious, how many of you ever lived in Louisville? Like, obviously in game, not in real life. Because I was always terrified of this place. Like, literally, I was terrified. I didn't go anywhere near Louisville. Not sure why, but now that I've gotten to spend some time here, I am actually starting to really understand why people enjoy it. It's not as scary as it used to be. Oh, I mean, obviously, I am playing on a normal zombie population. If this was be 16x, that would probably be a different story. But it's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of fun. I'm gonna rest here. I'm gonna wait for the show at noon, and then I'm gonna go and loot more. So I already got some basic tools. I got some basic meds. One thing that I could definitely use is the Zomboxivir ampoule, just in case. I would love to find a generator magazine, but that's probably not gonna happen. Where could I find books? In this area, where could I find books? Not sure really. I could definitely use. I don't think that's a... Oh, I actually found it already. And I already read it. Okay, I am... And I didn't turn on the TV. Seriously. I missed the show. Okay, well, whatever. Since I already have... I already have red level 1. That means it's actually worth it for me to disassemble every electrical item that I find because of the experience bonus. Sadly, never, but I'm tempted to for a completely new game experience. It totally is a new experience because you're thrown into a different environment. You know, me being 1,000 hours in, only now starting to... That's also cool. Only now starting to explore Louisville. It's definitely a brand new experience. And it's not as scary, again, as I thought it would. It all depends on your game settings. But it's actually manageable. If you play it the right way. Where's this store? Oh, it's like an all-purpose type. Like a convenience store, look. Tons of maybe no, maybe these are just kitchen appliances. Yeah, these are just kitchen appliances. Finds. So there is no food. Yeah. Tons of different kitchen appliances. Including like some serious stuff. But that means, yeah, they will also have the industrial kitchen, which I can disassemble. Extractor hoods, yes. Okay, let's level up electrical. It's actually good. There we go, level 1. Sweet, 2 more to go. Well, I guess that's that. Oh, there. Nothing. Nothing. Well, if you ever need a refrigerator, I think you're all set if you reach this point. Oh. Do they have, by any chance, no emergency? Yeah, and some hygiene problems also. Alright. Oh yeah, like celebrate small successes. We just hit level 1 electrical. That's a nice thing to do. And this is marked in brown, so this is technically residential. How to get up there? Hold on, guys. Asheram, can't stay, but I just want to stop by, show my appreciation. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you. I really appreciate it. What I can just say is that I'm really happy that you found it useful. And yeah, like, enjoy your Zomboid experience, whatever it is. And the fact that you took the time to, like, let me know, that's awesome. You know, when I started making these videos, I would have never imagined, like... I mentioned that on stream, I don't want to repeat. It's just wild. It's just wild that... Oh, look, a generator. That you guys find these things useful, that actually contribute somehow to people's gaming experience. It's a great feeling. Metal working punch. Now this is proper a punch and chisel. Would I be doing any welding? Probably not. Simply because I just don't have the patience to look for... What is the cargo? It's parked. Bro, it's parked safely in the parking lot, waiting for its time, you know, to shine. It's not needed now. It's gonna be needed later. Okay, so this is like a storage. Dioshkosh! Okay, that was scary. That upstairs. Must have been upstairs. I don't wanna get jumped in some sort of a bullshit fashion. You know, like in a corner or something. One of the worst things that can happen. And by the way, I learned a few things recently. Not sure if you guys noticed it, but I am really noticing that myself, the way that I play now. And it's probably a good tip to give. Is remember when I was so furious on Discord, so like I was mentioning that I got just destroyed in the Brandenburg shelter. I opened the door and immediately got grabbed by like 8 zombies. And they just ripped me to shreds in a matter of seconds. Ever since then, whenever I open doors, the first thing I do is I take a step back. Which is actually probably a good thing to do, because it gives you this split-second separation. And it might be the difference between life and death, so... yeah, small things actually do matter. Oh, a Sega Genesis, look at this. I actually had one. I actually had this console. Way back. Well. There are a few things which I still don't have, like the sleeves. And I will be wearing them. And a collar. In fact, this does give extra protection to the neck area. So if you're ever worried about the neck area, hold on. Which is usually something that's not easy to protect because there aren't many things that can help you protect the neck guard that you craft using blacksmithing. The neck area is usually something that's very vulnerable. So if you're using Frockin' Splendor, the mods, you actually get collars. Now, it's cool to to wear a collar on its own, but the thing is, they are also great for neck protection. Look at this. 100% scratch defense and 82 neck bite protection. And on top of that, you can put a padding on it. So even after you get that, you can still further increase. It's great. Ah, Loxley. So yeah, that's people would say it's a like BS type of death, but it's usually 100% your fault, unfortunately. I saw this really interesting discussion the other day on Reddit where somebody posted a short clip of them dying after like opening a door or something or not checking the corners. And the person like asked a question: is this type of death something that should justify the use of debug mode to like resurrect yourself? Because the person was claiming that it was some sort of a glitch. No, it was just misplayed badly by the person. Yo, that's a Desert Eagle, guys. Oh. That is a Desert Eagle. Oh my god. Lovely. Simply lovely. I'm gonna wait here for the show at 6. Make sure I don't forget to turn it on this time. Nice. 2 of them, yeah. We should have the option to go like akimbo with two guns at the same time. That would be crazy. Hello, baby. Hmm. Horrible. Towers. Oh my god. That was horrible. Bad decision. What's my tailoring level? Should be pretty high already. Look, I'm almost at level 4. And keep in mind, guys, the higher your tailoring level, the more efficient and effective, not efficient, the more effective the padding is. It gives you even more protection. Carpenter? A singer. Sabrina Carpenter. Presso. It's a code name. We and the community are just discussing Sabrina Carpenter all the time. Baby, carpentry is I'm gonna try and explain it in English. So it's a skill, a trade, where a person works with wood and makes furniture. Stolarz, exactly. So carpenter is basically stolarz, and carpentry is stolarstwo. She is. Exactly. Look, guys, I found so much leather padding, but none of it actually... Man, none of it fits. Okay, I'm just gonna use these because, you know, safety first. Speaking of which, I just hit tailoring level 4, and my maintenance I already level. Oh, it's actually level 1. Okay, so we need to work on our maintenance levels, but it's kind of a natural, so it happens. Nice tired armor. I don't really like wearing armor because it slows you down. I don't know. I think I prefer, you know, being agile, mobile, hostile, rather than just being a tin can. Besides, I completely debunked the whole armor thing when I made the video about it. So I'm gonna be back here because I want to grab that Desert Eagle. It's far too valuable to just leave behind. And also there's one more floor upstairs that I haven't checked, but she's getting a bit tired. No point in pushing her beyond her limit. Can you please fall down? Thank you very much. Oops. Okie. Few more days and the heli event is gonna happen. As soon as we get the helicopter, I'm just getting in the car and leaving this place. So I don't want to get stuck in a like a 2-story building with a heli event. Could be dicey. I should probably move also the stuff into the car. Not yet. There's still some time. But yeah, a thing to consider for the long term. Look at how many magazines I already found. Nice. Armor is an in. Oh, that's a long comment. I need to focus on a second. Armor is an interesting mechanic. Light armor is always worth it. The elbow pads and knee pads, it can save you some. The heavy armor slows you down, slows your swing. Likely for it to happen. And also, it doesn't like it's crap when you're faced with fighting a whole group, because the zombies can easily drag you down, right? And if you're slower and less mobile, it actually does more damage than like good. Of course, one can say that it can save you from an occasional bullshit bite from a. But when fighting groups, you want to be as agile, as fast, and as not alive. I'm looking for the English word for the word wytrzymałość. So you want to have as much stamina as possible to be able to, you know, sustain longer combat. And when you're wearing, I mean, did you guys play Kingdom Come Deliverance? I have. A lot. And swinging a sword 3 times was completely exhausting Henry. So, kind of the same mechanic here. If you're wearing a lot of heavy armor, heavy stuff, character will get tired faster. Your combat efficiency is going to go down. Unless you're some sort of a superhuman, you have like fitness at level 8, strength at level 8. Then you can probably consider going like fully medieval. But until that happens, I would probably prioritize speed and agility. But that's just me. Like play the game any way you want to play it. It's your game after. Knee pads are only useful if you have a scratch-based infection. Otherwise, they don't work. So, okay. Elaborate, Loxley. Let's have a discussion here about this, because I always wear knee pads. Not really thinking about why am I doing it. I just, oh, knee pads, I gotta put them on. Same thing with elbow pads. If I ever get my hands on one, I get my hands. If I ever get my hands on elbow pads, I am immediately putting them on. Is that the right thing to do? I'm not sure. Maybe not the right thing. I shouldn't be wearing. It's always, you know, these few grams of weight can lose. I gotta find a pillow though. Hold on. I have a pillow. Sleeping like a savage. Has to be a pillow somewhere. That's nice. I found a jar of broccoli. It's probably not gonna help me with my, you know, sleeping comfort. But it's always nice to have a jar of broccoli. You love broccoli, right? My wife hates broccoli. One of the very few things in her life, like food-wise, which she really doesn't like. Broccoli and pickles. I know pickles are like the most horrible thing in the world for you. Crawlers only do scratch-based damage. They can't bite the legs. Okay. Nipads. Oh, you were. Did you, Andre? You served in the army. Nice. Guys, no pillows. Wild. Okay. Guess I'm sleeping without a pillow. One thing about knee pads is that they reduce the speed by 1%. If you don't notice, worth it. Okay. Get some. So, going back to the pickle discussion. So you guys know, I mean, some of you know that I had to go to my office. Oh wow, she's sleeping like a rock. Jesus. 10. Something I normally don't do because I work from home. But since I was switching teams, I have a new role. There's like a completely new team in the organization. Like we set up this team, and we were all expected to work together from the office, just to like give a proper kickoff. Which was unusual for me because I wasn't used to going to the office, but it was actually quite fun. Not gonna lie, I am a social person and I enjoy connect with people not only through soft teams, but like actually being able to speak to people who are there. But that's not the thing I want to mention. So one of the things that the company is doing to encourage people to get back to office, make it more of a fun experience, is that they are providing all kinds of different goodies in the office for you to use on a daily basis. So, example, get like baskets of fresh fruit every day, all kinds of different breakfast cereals, like any kind of a coffee milk that you can dream of, regular one, lactose-free, almond, probably like 8 different types of milk that you can use. But there was also one more thing, which is very low key, and I am not really sure why they actually have that as a benefit, because you know, fruits in the office are quite normal, something that you do. But we also get boxes of fresh pickles. And again, I love pickles. I absolutely love them. My wife hates them. I love the taste. I love the smell. I like them so much that I like to drink the water from the jar of like pickles. she's sitting next to me like cringing. Her entire body is like cringing. But they are like, I have like fresh pickles in the office. Stop torturing me. And the first day I went to the office, I'm like, yo, look at this. Babe, I think I'm gonna go to the office more. They have fresh pickles here and I can eat it without any regrets. And guys, I don't know why, out of all the things, pickles were the ones that they provided as benefit, but it was just extremely funny. Anyways, I know my wife doesn't find it fun. Achilles! Good evening to you. You choose pirate life. Few years ago, I would probably say that maybe you should reconsider your behavior because reasons, but right now, given where we are, given the decision that are being made by the filthy rich billionaires whose only motivation is to be even filthier, richer billionaires, or as it's the case with Elon Musk, a trillionaire. Jesus, just pirate the shit out of everything. What mode? It's basically your standard game mode, Andre. I haven't done. It's not like a game mode per se. I do have a tons of different modes. One which makes the game totally different is that I have cryogenic winter. That's why it's so extremely cold, and that's why there is so much snow. And one of the more relevant things is I also have sprinters on. Oh, carving level 2. I mean, yeah, carving. So these are the major things which kind of mix up the gameplay a little bit. Yeah, exactly, Achilles. There is no incentive apart from you like, just being a good soldier, proper citizen for like paying for content. And like we've been discussing this earlier, and since you only joined like now, but I was just referencing the statistics that were saying that in the late 2010s, the scale of piracy was the lowest it ever was in the history of internet. Is that a broken tile, or is that... It's a broken tile, isn't it? It's not a secret stash. I thought I found my first secret stash. That would be amazing. But anyways, we were just discussing that the late 2010s were the period where there was least piracy, and that because the content was high quality, affordable, and easy to access. And turns out is that if you provide affordable, high quality, and easy to access stuff, people are more willing to pay for it and less willing to pirate it. But if you're like constantly beefing up prices, releasing shit content, get ready to get your ass pirated. That's simple as that. The RAM shall flow until the prices and products improve. I can respect that. I do remember that. I do remember what you said, Achilles. And it's just so shows that, if with the right approach, companies can still make a lot of money. You just have to deliver what is expected and not try to siphon every last freaking dollar from everyone. Simple as that. Andre, yes, this particular playthrough will not have warm weather. I will not have temperatures above 0 degrees ever again. For now, indoors, I'm still getting 22 degrees Celsius, but that's only because the power is still on. But once the power shuts down, the inside will also go below 0. And even if I connect a generator, it's not gonna make a difference. The temperatures are still going to be below 0. So stuff like drying, which is directly affected by the temperature, or farming, are essentially impossible. Unless you find furnaces and you just use them to increase the temperature of the room that they are placed in. But that is a tedious process of constantly adding firewood, which I don't have the energy. Maybe if this was a multiplayer game, we could have 10 people taking care of that and manage, but so Ravens, what I'm saying, the temperatures will drop inside as well. It's what happens in my offline playthrough right now. I'm a month in, so obviously I do have a lovely 2 generator setup next to my base. And why 2 generators, you might ask? Well, one is the one that's running and the other one is backup. So whenever I need to work on maintenance of my generator of the primary one, I turn on the backup, and I just rotate. So then the backup works until it requires maintenance. I turn on the primary one while backup one. Just the way I like to do it. Yeah, but with that mod you have to pay attention to windows and doors. So that's funny because when I reached the farm, it had 5 different windows broken, and I had to go out and replace windows. So there was a period of time where I had like huge holes. I removed the old ones before I managed to find enough windows to put in. So yeah. By the way, to all of you Polish people out there who are watching me right now, it's papieska, so stand at attention. Ania, you need to sing Barka, right? You need, it's papieska, you need to sing Barka. Netflix really had it all, became a monopoly, others wanted in, became prices. Exactly. So, again, you're kind of like reading reading my mind to some sense, but the streaming had everything. The early adopters of streaming, they had everything, and they just completely fumbled it. And there was one reason that it was done. It was just pure greed. You want in. Get a proper meal. Exactly. Don't ask me to sing it, please. But that's what we need to do right now. Barka. Oh, a frying pan. Frying pan. Oh, look at this. More food. I didn't. Apartment? Probably just didn't loot the kitchen. I'm gonna cook something. And I'm gonna go to sleep soon. No point in playing longer. I really want to get to the heli event today. And it's gonna be day 5, so we're getting close. Hi there, I'm Jan Kabulov. You're probably a space crew captain. I constantly get... I didn't stream last Thursday. I wasn't streaming because my wife was leaving the very next day, super early in the morning. And I just prioritized getting ready. Like, helping her get ready. So, you know, like, house stuff, basically. Half of the kitchen utensils are useless. Yes, they are. There are only a very limited amount of things which are actually used. A ladle. No practical application. Apart from, you know, just getting a more immersive game experience. And have a soup. Might want to have a ladle in you where you can nicely. But then again, we can also, what we can also do is just simply eat the soup out of a huge pot, which on its own is ridiculous. But what I like is that when you have a fork or a spoon, your character will actually use it to eat. That's a nice. It's just a coincidence, Achilles. I'm definitely streaming this Thursday. Just a coincidence. Some, you know, like conflicts of agendas and stuff. Sometimes happens. If you don't, I might invade Poland. That's not gonna be that easy, you know. I mean, we are really beefing up our military. Then again, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you actually have the most powerful, like, ground force in all of NATO outside of United States. So maybe that's actually a valid threat, and I need to mark my words, not mark, but like weigh my words better. You go into berserker mode. That's actually a nice thing to say. I like appreciate it. Thank you. It's funny and we're laughing, but it's really nice of you. I think I don't, because you know it's constantly changing, and obviously we are investing some significant money into the military because obviously frontline. But it's constantly changing. I think from the perspective of NATO continental Europe, I think Turkey is #1, if I'm not mistaken. We are probably #2. Ground forces were definitely stronger than Germany, which is pretty insane. If you like consider the history. So yeah, things are changing. I would definitely prefer countries to invest into infrastructure, education, healthcare, innovation, and space exploration rather than buying tanks and artillery units. But this would probably require a few older gentlemen to you know, to become unalive for the world to change. Then again, you know, like warfare is I killed one zombie the entire day. Wow, that was a pretty boring day. Warfare has been part of human history forever. I mean, there's always going to be wars. I don't believe we will ever reach a point where there's always going to be something to fight over. That's the sad truth. Wait until the German conscription takes place again. I hope it won't ever happen. I mean, we've had enough. We've had enough. I mean, yeah. But are you guys like really restarting conscription? Because there have been discussions in Poland about it also. Whether that should be a thing. It's a highly unpopular thing to do politically. No, Macron, it's like nowhere near the debates we've had before. Achilles was just mad that I didn't stream on Thursday and mentioned that he's gonna invade Poland if I miss my deadlines again. And we just kind of naturally went into these discussions. But if that's actually a thing, then that's huge, because there's been discussions in Poland about it for probably 2 or 3 years already. But since we were in election cycles, nobody wanted to raise it because Essentially, if you do that, you probably jeopardize your chances of an election, because I don't think the society is like ready for these kinds of decisions. And conscription on its own is not like gonna solve any problems. You actually should invest more into stuff like civil defense. So, you know, getting your infrastructure ready for kind of conflict. Educating the society on what to do in crisis. Simple stuff. If you know the air raid sirens go off, you know there are different types of air raid sirens, and they are not all necessarily air raid. It could be chemical. It could be, you know, like environmental threats, and they all have different sounds. People need to know what to do. Don't know these things. So before you think about fielding, you know, 300,000 soldiers, maybe you should think about what your average Joe is gonna do when shit hits the fan. This is far more important than any military, because like essentially military is important, but in case of conflict, it's the entire society that's actually engaged in conflict. And if you don't prepare it, you're having issues. So I'm just finishing this rant. Like I think I said everything that I had to say in topic. According to Google, UK number 2, France number 3, Turkey number 4, Italy, Germany, Poland. That's so. Oh, that's an interesting. I mean, if you think about firepower, then obviously France and UK are not, like tops, because they have nuclear weapons, right? But like really, in terms of ground forces, France maybe, yeah, because I mean, they are active in Africa and stuff. But I'm surprised Germany is ahead of Poland. I thought we actually have a larger ground force. I don't know. But not that I really care. We're allies, so it's great. They want to add 80k people around ground personnel, 200,000 people. So when I worked in my previous company, I worked for Nielsen, and the director of the entire unit in Poland was German, and he was working in the corporate world, but he was also a major in the Bundeswehr, and he got recalled. Actually, I think he got called up, so he had to leave his corporate job, and he's now in the military, as far as I know. It happened after I quit, but he was a legit major in the military. What is most important? Making sure your nation military is prepared for surviving. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the military really misplayed the Nox event completely. They were unable to do that. There is an ancient Greek proverb. Tell me not how many, but where. That's a good one. That's a badass proverb. And let's face it, Greece has amazing legacy when it comes to warfare. You know, there were like few pretty significant historical characters and events. There was this, not sure if you heard about him. His name was Alexander the Great. He was a pretty decent war chief. Okay, I'm gonna pack the car, guys. We are now in day 6 already, so you know the heli can come. Want to be prepared for that. Raven, what was your serious question? You posted there that you have a serious question. Did I miss it? Okay, serious questions. Yeah, you didn't ask the question. Macramon, we all do. It's what I said like a couple of minutes. I wish we would be investing more money into education and healthcare structure it better than figuring out how to do not leave. You know, when I was a kid, one of my favorite movies of all time, something that's like, you know, hits deep and is very sentimental for me. And I always like when I hear music from that particular movie, I always get goosebumps and stuff. That movie was Independence Day. Not the shitty Independence Day 2, which was released a couple of years ago and was just a disgraceful treatment of a legacy IP that I really... The original Independence Day. And of course, it was corny and stuff. But what I loved about that movie, at the very end, when they finally figured out a way to disable the aliens' shields, and you got the US military reaching out to all the different pockets of human resistance in various different areas with the plan to save the world, and they are reaching out to the Japanese, to the Russians, to the Chinese, and like, we're gonna get them. And I think, unfortunately, it's probably the only realistic scenario where all as humans, we are faced with an existence. And it's sad because, in the end, you wouldn't want to be driven to a point of no return in order to try to collaborate. Okay, this gotten very serious. I'm gonna have some ice cream to cool down the atmosphere a little bit. There is no way we have 200,000 active. I mean, that's including all the, you know, receptionists, cleaning personnel, delivery drivers, and then freelancers. There's no way we have over 200,000 beefed up numbers for sure. Prime, it's actually like studied a bit of Greek history, but kind of like European history. It boils down everyone hated each other. That's the thing. European history was built on conflict, because, you know, there are some, depending on the like period, the age, there were different reasons to fight each other, but they were always reasons. Europe is such a mixture of cultures, religions, all various like influences. That was just bound to happen, and that's why I don't want to go political again, but just like bear with me for a moment. People complain about European Union that, you know, it's overregulated, it kills innovation, and it's focusing on stuff like, you know, bottle caps, right? There was this huge controversy last year. We've implemented a new bottle cap. It's something that you people in the United States cannot comprehend, but the bottle cap in our European bottles is actually attached to the bottle, which I personally like, because especially when driving, if the bottle cap falls down, like, it's not attached to the bottle, it can like fall out, and then I might have an issue driving a car, having an open bottle. So this is actually, I love this. This is great. But like beyond that entire story of, you know, like regulation and stuff, this is the calmest that Europe has been ever. So there are good things if you really focus on doing things together. Like there are benefits. So yeah. Yeah, essentially you're right, Ramon. It's just in human nature. Ever since we figured out that we can use a stick or a stone to damage somebody else and acquire their resources, it became a method of functioning, which is sad. As a person who plays a zombie video game and just kills hundreds. Oh no, I didn't. I let my bologna go stale. That's. So, guys, helicopter tomorrow, I guess, right? Day 6? Or is it gonna be day 7? Not sure. Prime, you will know that. And probably not only you, probably a lot of you would know that. Day 6 or day 7? Also true, what you're saying. Also true. I should probably find one more bag. Pack of food that... A bag. Any kind of a bag would do. Even actually... Sheet sling bag. There are no sheets. Oh, but there's a garbage bag. Solved. Oh, you have no idea. Wow, so there is something you don't know. You just walked past it. That's what I did, indeed. I was so focused on the windows that I completely like ignored the fact that there was a trash bag on the floor. My goal is that's a great question. So my goal is get to the heli event. Once the heli event starts, ditch this place and head out to one of the riverside villas south of the Oakwood Distillery and set up a permanent base there and use it as a permanent base to like explore more and more of Louisville, because I think Louisville in many cases is an area that's quite unexplored, and I want to the opportunity to showcase it. So we're gonna visit places like the TV studio. I want to go to LSU. I want to go to the art gallery. You missed. I'm not sure if you've been here last time, but I've been to the strip club already. That was actually the first location that I visited. Probably not something I should be proud of, especially considering my wife is right next to me. He wasn't listening to me. I just said that the first place that I visited in this playthrough was a strip club. Oh. It's not specifically a winter spawn. It's just spawning with the cryogenic winter mod. So you might call it a winter. It's gonna be eternal winter, so yeah. Oh, look at that. Probably just gonna be more alcohol. Not too bad, actually. I already have 2 bottles of whiskey, so I don't need any. It was rather just maybe thing. Oh. Oh, this is... Oh! Shotgun. But it's the double barrel, I don't... Okay, we know how to grow marijuana. Oh, look at this, guys. FBI incident report San Fernando bank robbery. Teaches make bulletproof limb or... Nice. First time I'm seeing this, actually. Never saw this before. What is this? Make scrap metal helmet. Make scrap metal body armor. Yo, this is awesome. Oh, make hollow out book. Oh, I am so happy I visited this place. A money bundle, by the way. This is... Yeah, it's like some sort of a drug lab or something. I'm just gonna mention that it's a drug lab on the first floor of a bar in Louisville. That's OG. Really cool find. That was great. Okay, going back. And I shouldn't be neglecting cigarette lighters. Because, yeah, I will probably... Oh, look. Food, actually. Didn't loot it. Thought I already looted. The duffel bag better than the satchel? It actually is. I'm losing my voice for some reason. What are you looking at? Yeah, maybe you should make some tea. After all. Losing my voice. No, but the thing is, oh, another monster drink. Wow, I am so lucky. Ever since I changed my team, I actually do have a bit more work than before. So, and like any corporate job, my work is mostly just talking to people, organizing stuff, agreeing on stuff, and then making them happen. So I do talk a lot now, much more than I was talking before. So maybe, you know, my throat is telling me. that it needs extra support. Then again, for the previous 3 days, I barely spoke to anyone because I was home alone, so... Come on. Persistent sprinter. Look, he didn't want to fall down, finally. Take care, Blythe. Have a good night. I should be fine. 3 zombies killed. Guys, I am on a rampage. 4 zombies over the last 2 days. Incredibly productive. I'm gonna read these magazines. In the output products, especially the Hollow Out book. Yeah, I had like a complete, like, Moodles were horrible. But I was wearing, like, carrying too much weight, obviously. I didn't pay attention to. So yeah, justifiable. Right. I am expecting a helicopter today. And if I'm gonna get it, I am getting into my car. And I'm bailing. It should come at noon, right? Huh? Are you guys talking about ancient Rome now? We got the Roman Empire reference on. A mining helmet light. How did I miss it before? Forgot to check this part of the store. What does the walkie-talkie do? Does it do anything? Oh, it actually does. And it has the automated broadcast, emergency broadcast system. Good. So now I will know if the heli is coming. Great. Let's see if the helicopter is coming. Day 7, isn't it? Oh, it's day 6. No. So maybe not yet. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow then. In multiplayer, it lets you talk to people. Really? Like a proximity chat or something. I need to get myself educated on multiplayer because if I plan on having my own server, I need to at least get some basics how it works. Because it's gonna be a huge failure if I don't. Stick to vanilla. That's what I was actually considering, because thinking about, you know, like all the different mods that could be added, it's just, yeah, we need to figure it out. There is a book. Let's see if I can make this hollowed out book. Oh, and I didn't. My mistake. Now I've read that. Hollow out book. You need some sort of a scalpel, a brush. Okay, a red type of book and a lot of glue. Jesus, a lot of different materials. I think last. If that's how it works, that you actually have to set the same frequency, that would be great. I mean, such a cool way of designing it. Does it mean that you could like spy on different frequencies? Not that it really matters, because I imagine if people play together, then they would probably be using some different forms of communication, probably Discord or something. I will probably like figure out how to do that once we get to a point when we actually are able to play this game in multiplayer. It's the 8th of December, right? My hot take, which said we're gonna get multiplayer before Christmas, it's starting to become less and less probable this way. In Prime, since these do impact performance, when you set up a server, if you like have enough of computing power, shouldn't that negate the impacts of you know, like on performance? Again, maybe these are stupid questions, but I am a complete rookie when it comes to this particular area. Then again, setting up computing power right now, given that we'll probably not be able to buy any RAM at all because of AI, probably a challenge on its own. Okay, I'm not feeling all that comfortable. I would love to disassemble all these computers over there, but I just don't want to. I don't want to much. Okay, I think this is manageable, especially considering there is another set of windows which would stop them. Alright, yeah, I think it's so far so good. Not entirely sure about the network connection speed and how much has to be transferred. Probably, yeah. And then there is also a question how much of it actually renders locally. Again, this is something that I will do some like investigation. Okay, not bad. Hey, there we go. Level 2, let's go. One more to go. That's pretty huge, actually. So when it comes to like enabling mods for multiplayer, there are two things to consider. One is the performance, and the other one is the stability. Because if like I wouldn't want a situation that if there is a server, I'm gonna load up a bunch of mods and something's gonna happen which is going to effectively break those mods and like fry the entire server. Especially if there are gonna be people who are actually invested in like playing on the server. So while I do like and appreciate having mods, I would probably prioritize stability and performance over them. And again, just trying to find the right balance between. A cinnamon roll. Cinnamon. I like to usually like pick this item up, and place it in my base's bathroom, which usually serves as my first aid room. So I'm not gonna be taking it now because that van that I found, the trunk isn't really all that big there. But if I ever get a chance to get my hands on it... Oh, potatoes! Potatoes! Oh, because this is a potato something factory. Potato Inc. That's why they have tons of potatoes. Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, Sweetpoint is using Mozart update, but then you need to have a proper selection of these mods. So you need to know what to expect. You need to do some, like, you know, investigation on what works, what doesn't work. I mean, look, it's gonna be a joint effort to some extent. I will absolutely be open to suggestions, feedback, requests. I am hoping to see at least some of you on that server, so I would like for it to be kind of a joint venture. Look at all these potatoes. I'm gonna take some. Potatoes are based. One of the best vegetables. Try to sneak away a little bit. Spotville. So that means that heli is tomorrow. Has to be tomorrow. Have I ever been to States? Multiple times. Actually. Oh, did I make it on time? Oh, I made it on time for the carpentry show. Awesome. It's not gonna make a difference because I'm already level 3. Whatever. I've been there multiple times and I actually been in Kentucky, but I was just driving through Kentucky. I've never like been to Kentucky. I was sharing that story before, but like happy to like put it again. My father, he moved to States when I was 7, and I just went there for summer. Between ages of 8 and 18, I was in the States every single year for 2 months. And he used to live, originally he based in Florida, then he moved to Detroit because his brother lived in. So I was going there, then he moved to Detroit, and I frequently took I think it's I-95, or is it I-94, or it's either I-94 or I-75. Anyway, the highway that's like taking you from north to south, and Kentucky is on the way. So I've been there, but just as. So don't really have an opinion on it. Nothing that, oh, you're a lifesaver. Thank you, darling. Oh, this is gonna be a blessing for my throat. Instant relief, please. So, like, speaking of mods still, there is a fine line. I mean, I do love mods which change appearance of things. That's why I use Authentic Z and stuff. But, like, if by any chance they would be having a detrimental impact on the game's stability, I would skip them and just not care about appearance and stick to vanilla. For the sake of, you know, the game just running smooth. And don't worry about spamming chat before you... Oh, look, a sprinter is coming. Ooh. It's always so scary. And don't worry about spamming chat because, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the stream, which you missed, by the way. Not sure what you were doing. Apparently something more important. I said that the more you guys comment, the higher a chance that this stream gets pushed. So... Speaking very selfishly, it just potentially gives a bit more exposure. Not that it makes like huge difference because I purely do it for the joy of it. If by any chance you guys were ever like thinking how much money one can make from streaming and stuff, of course you can like make tens of thousands of dollars, but if you're like a small niche creator like myself that has a lovely community that I really like, and trust me, I do enjoy playing with you guys because, you know, it's a completely different experience. But with all the, you know, views that you guys get and all the ads that should like pop up, usually the actual revenue per stream is about $1.50. And if you consider that they last like 3 hours each, then that is a whopping 50 cents per hour. But again, this is not something that I am doing for money. It's just for the pure joy of it. Okay, I'm not sure this is actually smart. I'm not expecting to find anything like super useful in this motel. And maybe just putting myself in danger for very little return is not a smart thing to do. Being a small live stream. See, that's the thing. I don't engage in any illegal activity. I had a brilliant business idea a while ago. Something that I would absolutely make bank on. Oh no, I'm an idiot. I left my paper clip and screwdriver back in the other bag, and I'm unable to... Our alarm. But the business idea involved illegal activity, and, you know, I'm just too honest. Hold on, guys, let me catch up on chat, because you're on fire. Gertrix Physics Kentucky zombie outbreaks happens. I'll let you know in advance, so you guys can stock up on crowbars and canned food. And hotties magazines. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Thomas. I've been to Ohio multiple times because it's like literally on the way. One of my best experiences as a kid is going to Cedar Point. I've been there north of 10 times. Easy. I loved that place. It was probably one of the very few things that I was looking for every single year. Like looking to every single year. I like spent hours riding Millennium Force. Amazing experience. It's not something that I would probably do these days, but geez, that was so awesome. I've wondered about the money side. I stream college sports for a living, and I was thinking like, so like, you know, there are tons of different like tutorials online on how to grow your audience and stuff. But I think like it's not like I should even voice my opinion here because, you know, the size of the channel. But like, if you do it for the joy of it, money doesn't really matter. I honestly really enjoy this. It's just an amazing way to spend time, an amazing way to socialize with people. Great, like, also a great method of making sure that my language stays sharp. And yeah, I just like it. Any revenue which pops in on the side is just bonus. I knew you would get the Cedar Point reference. Hey guys, for those of you who are non-US native or non-Ohio native, Cedar Point is an amusement park. It's called, it used to be called, I'm not sure if it's still called like that, but it used to be called the roller coaster capital of the world. And it had, at the time when I was visiting that place, it had the fastest, it had the tallest, it had the steepest roller coasters there were. So, oh geez. Great stuff. If you're like a 12-year-old kid, that place is better than Disney. I'm trying to just, maybe that's not wise actually. This is the apartment complex, so God knows how many zombies are there. I'm just trying to like get a feeling of what's in the vicinity of this area, because again, I think tomorrow I'm getting the helicopter and I'm leaving. Yeah. I don't want to risk it. Also, one more thing, and there's a sprinter there. Okay, so I stirred up the hornet's nest, or whatever the phrase is. Oh, okay, I managed to get the sprinter down. That's priority targets. Because these things mess up the... They really mess up your rotation when it comes to swinging and shoving. So if you ever play with sprinters, priority number one. The best thing you I mean, unless you guys have like other strategies, but make sure you have something that they can trip over. A fence, a window, a bench, whatever. And if you don't have access to it, just try to time your shoves and swings so you can prioritize taking out the sprinter because these things are scary. Any other suggestions are... Oh, geez. Any other suggestions are welcome. I haven't played that much with sprinters. Though I did play a little already, so I do have some experience. But if you guys know other strategies on how to deal with them, apart from just blasting them with a shotgun, then I am open to suggestions. What's my... Abysmal. I gotta find. You can just climb up the light pole, and what to do then? What's next? What's the okay, so I guess that's step 1. What's step 2 in this strategy? Oh, I cannot imagine playing this game with a controller. Enjoy the view. A good one. It's you know, when sometimes you have movies that start with the main character saying, "You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation." So that's kind of how I would imagine to be. How much experience points for a single cinema projector? 2.5. I need to find the book. Oh, one more thing. Speaking of electrical, I actually... I was thinking about this skill recently. Because in that like playthrough that I've been referencing all the time to you guys today, I've reached level 3 electrical. And I figured, okay, that's the end of the road. There is no further incentive in leveling it up. And then I reached a very unique issue, which I'm gonna try and describe, but it's probably easier to just show. But essentially, the way that the place that I live right now, I have a house, like a farmhouse, and I have a barn over here. An awesome barn. A barn which I am planning to... I am already remodeling into a workshop, which is going to have dedicated sections for metalworking and electrical. It's going to have a dedicated section for masonry. So I'm actually having like a lot of fun furnishing it in and setting stuff up. And the barn doesn't have natural light. It has 2 small windows, but it does have artificial light. The problem is, I have my generator next to my farm, and the range of the generator isn't big enough to reach the light on, like the switch for the lights. So I need to move the switch to a different place in the barn, so it's still within range of the generator. And you can only do that if you hit electrical level 5. And obviously you guys will tell me, well, move the generator so that it reaches both the farmhouse and the barn. And of course I could do that because it is physically possible, but then the generator would be in the middle of my parking spot and it would just frustrate me. So no, I'm gonna grind electrical to level 5 and I'm gonna move the light switch, because why not? And I am already like level 4 and some, so I am really on the right path to hitting electrical level 5, which I've never done before actually. I've never put in the time to level up that skill beyond level 3. I play Zomboid with a steering wheel, but Raven, half of your life in Zomboid is just crashing your ass with like different cars. Dual filter, evening to you. Using Adobe Character Creator and animating the character. Now that sounds amazing. I have 0 skills to do that. Back in like a few months ago, there was this user in my Discord who was very active, and he was actually doing animations and collaborating with Mr. Atomic Duck. And those animations were amazing. I would absolutely, you know, love to be able to do that, but I do not have the time to really work on that, and I cannot afford an editor yet. Maybe someday, you know, you never know. But yeah, like if you're able to do these animations and stuff, that's just taking the content game to a completely different level. Completely different level. I do have a box of nails. I don't think I need any more. I saw it. I think I'm good. When Driscoll, I kind of love the electrical level 1 craftable lantern. Any source of light. In fact, electrical does have some useful applications, but it could have plenty more. That's the thing with this skill. It's just underdeveloped, like a lot of skills, and you need modders to help like fix the problem. And we all know the modding community in Zomboid is just world class. And I continue to say that almost every single stream and every episode of the Mod Shed, the modding community for Zomboid cannot get enough appreciation. Oh, scissors. That's one of the things that I haven't found yet. 4:30. Hold on, guys. Let me quickly check the survey. 22 votes. 45% are choosing the life of a pirate. Jack Sparrow would be proud. I want to check out these garbage containers. Sometimes you're able to find pretty amazing things. Maybe a generator magazine, you never know. Empty pallet. Old shoes. Not this time, guys. Not this time. Oh, there's another pawn shop over here. Oh, we absolutely have to check this out then. But I gotta get back to base first. I need to get a screwdriver and my paperclip so I can lockpick the doors. Ah, damn it. Okay. Yo, a pawn shop is a high priority location. So I'm absolutely checking it out. I know nobody is using Celsius, Thomas. The thing is, I don't know how to read Fahrenheit. I will not apologize for that. What is my screwdriver? Or am I an idiot? I actually have everything. Okay, I'm gonna have the energy drink. Because she's getting a bit drowsy. Have I ever played with car spawn quality settings? I have, because it makes sense. Yeah, that's... I played a series where I deliberately reduced the quality of the cars because I wanted the playthrough to have sort of a nomadic vibe to it. You know, like walking and stuff. But like just purely from the perspective of what makes sense, cars should be in great quality. Because, you know, if people just abandon them, it doesn't necessarily mean that they all just become like shitboxes instantly. That makes zero sense. Oh no! There has to be some kind of a backdoor here, right? Right. Or I can handle, even though my bat is not batting anymore. I still have the hunting knife, so I do have a fallback weapon. And maybe I'll manage to not use the bat at all and just stomp the shit out of them. Okay, not a bad start. Down. What? Mistimed the... Oh, there's more. Stomping is just way too overpowered. This is like... I know I already used this this reference before, but like on the list of weapons of mass destruction, stomping is somewhere between a Tsar Bomba and probably some chemical weapons. Right, let's see what's inside. Violin case. Oh, what do you know? Ooh. Ooh, electrical level 2. How sweet. Oh, wow. Wow, reloading, masonry. Oh my goodness. What a haul of books. Oh. Alice belt suspenders. Oh, this is better than a fanny pack. Not even close. I am near the Louisville police. Oh, more books! Are you serious? I don't have space for all these books. No katana, though. Oh, that's actually a nice item. Leather-bound Bible. What is the light switch here? Wow, this is amazing. Pawn shops, guys. Pawn shops are great loot locations. Your guys are telling me to get... Oh! Oh, wow. You guys are telling me to get the canteen. On webbing. Was there one? A ceramic scrubber frog? What frog? What is it? Is it something that I missed? There's a canteen, but like yo, I'm not sure what you guys are talking about, honestly. Maybe it's somewhere else. Oh, a handy knife. I already have one. Okay. Shouldn't be so excited. One sec. Guys. One moment. Found it. Oh, these are not mine, as you can imagine. It's a gift that I made to my wife. Which I am still kind of hoping that one day we're gonna stream together. Check this out. Amazing. I love cat ear headphones. I am 40, almost, like I'm turning 40 next year, and I am not ashamed of it. Think of me whatever you want, I don't care. Hey, ooh, I can actually attach stuff here. Oh, webbing left. Hold on, now I get it. So are you telling me that I can take the canteen and I can attach it to... Doesn't work though. Doesn't let me do that. You can't, oh, you can't put a non-military. Okay, okay, cool. So it's just a specific type of a canteen, right? Oh. Protecting private parts. Hockey mask. Ah. Good the way I am. But you know, maybe I'm gonna find like a can. There we go. And I actually have two. Oh, sweet. I didn't know you can do that with the suspenders. Oh, I am so happy I visited this place. I cannot blame you. Oh, Long Johns. I cannot blame you. It's the way it is. It's just the way it is. We're only human after all. So yeah, I totally dig that. It's kind of also the reason why I got her the headphones. So the funny thing is, I got it for her as a gift. I was like for a long time saying, "Oh, you need to have cat." Ooh, even better. Look, a metal baseball bat. I was teasing her for a long time, saying, "Oh, you need like cat ear headphones," and she's like, "No, I'm too old. They're like crap. I hate it. I don't want it." And then I finally got it for her, and believe it or not, she was like, "Oh my god, they're amazing." So yeah. I guess the lesson out of this is if you have a significant other who is a female and says that they don't want a cat ear headphone, just get them and they're gonna love them. Okay, she is getting super tired. I was super excited finding all this loot, and what I don't want to do is I don't want to die in some sort of a stupid way because I just got excited finding cat ear headphones. That would be lame. That would be like total embarrassment. Back to base. Well, base. back to the temporary shelter. First, let's fill in the canteens. Ah, okay. I was worried it's gonna happen. I used some sort of something messes up my the hotbar. I'm not sure which mod does it, but apparently there is some sort of a conflict, which I don't really know where it comes from. It's still working though, so if I memorize what is under each... No, stupid, just open the damn gate. Jesus. If I memorize what's in every category, then that is not a huge issue. It's probably authentic. If I was to bet my money on something, it's either that or maybe something which adds the item condition to the hotbar. So it's not like it's not game breaking, right? I mean, I can still function fully. I just need to remember which particular item is under which hotkey. Besides, it looks crappy right now, right? It looks ugly. So yeah, there are downsides to this, apparently. I'm just so happy. That was such a great visit. And it was completely not planned. I wasn't expecting to... I didn't even know there's a pawn shop there. So, that's a nice surprise. Oh, improvised flashlight. This is also pretty cool. The lantern, as already mentioned. I think, guys, I think I'm gonna be finishing for tonight, because I will need to be on top of my game when the helicopter starts. And it's gonna be tomorrow, and I don't think I am able to beat what has been achieved with the pawn shop. Besides, I'm getting hungry. Thomas, not really. It's called Cryogenic Winter, so it's basically the same thing. Not really. Crops will not work. The thing is, you could try and work around that by having like a greenhouse built. So you build a structure which is considered indoors, and you put in like the stove thing, like this ancient stove in there, and you just keep the fire up, like, going at all times, which is incredibly tedious, and therefore you are able to maintain the temperature above a certain level, because for the plants to grow, I think it's what, below 8 degrees Celsius? Hold on, let me quickly check it, because now it's gonna bother me. Agriculture. And now go to is it? Plant health. Okay, the temperature below 10 degrees. So if the temperature falls below 10 degrees, your plant is gonna lose 0.25 health points every single tick. The plans start with 50 points of health points. The maximum is 100. Zero is like 0 is 0. So you would need to effectively maintain the temperature above 10 degrees, which with a ancient stove, it only works within a certain range of the ancient stove and with enough fuel in that stove, because the amount of fuel that's burning inside also determines the temperature. So it's almost impossible. What is the alternative? That is a fantastic question. We'll worry about that when we get there, because foraging is also not going to be effective. And we all know you cannot live only by protein. I'm really looking forward to them introducing greenhouse. You cannot imagine how I am looking forward to that. There were fantastic mods in Build 41 for greenhouses, but what I would like is something badass, which is a greenhouse which maintains its own temperature, has its own irrigation system, as long as it's linked to source. And in order to operate and build it, not only do you need like carpentry and glass making, because obviously when you think of greenhouses that are usually built with some sort of glass windows for the sunlight to come in, but you also need electrical. Yes. I showcased your headphones because, believe it or not, for the first time in my life in Project Zomboid, look what I found. I found cat ear headphones, and it triggered me to find your cat ear headphones. Someday. Yeah, I really hope we're gonna get that. That will be amazing. Okay, guys, listen up. Tomorrow is day 7. So, like, probably guaranteed to get the helicopter. I'm not gonna be going for the heli event today. I think in the description of the stream I did mention that I want to see if I haven't lied to you. What did I say in the announcement? Okay, yeah, I mentioned that once the helicopter event starts, I'm gonna move. So yeah, look, I'm gonna be closing for tonight. It's been an amazing stream. I'm definitely coming back on Thursday. I promise you that, Achilles. So I'll see you then. We're gonna start with the heli event, and then we're gonna switch to something I usually don't do on stream. Building. It's gonna be base building. We're gonna be securing essential items for base building. I think it's gonna be actually quite fun. I did, and it wasn't telling me that it's today, so it's gonna be tomorrow, I guess. Besides, it's past 11. Oh, it's 11 right now. Do what suits you. No, I do want to stream. Like I mentioned, you missed that part, but I rediscovered love to Project Zomboid over the long weekend that I've had. I've been playing religiously over the past 72 hours, and it's just giving me a ton of fun. So, guys, you have a great rest of your evening or a great rest of your day. Have an awesome week because it's Monday, and I'm gonna see you on Thursday then. Take care now. Bye bye then. As a